Hello, lovely, and welcome to the Essence of Expression podcast. Get ready to explore insights, lessons, practices, and wisdom from life for life. I'm your host, Arejay, healer, teacher, student, and sage. I'm excited and honored to have you with me on this journey. Let's dive in.
When those different mood phases are happening. And the woman who invited the few of us to share our freebie in her group, she was asking follow-up questions of everyone. And so the question that she asked me was kind of, what changes have I seen in my life or in my business with working with the moon, right? And for me, one of the biggest things is that just allowing myself to be more supported and not have to do the heavy lifting. And what I mean by that is we have a tendency, especially in the Western world, to be a bit detached from like nature and from the cycles that naturally happen. And we have this very interesting way of like, we try to push through everything, right? And it's we're not going to stop or slow down because everyone's tired. We're still just, everyone's tired at the same time, but like, let's push through. And we don't really pay attention to the natural ebbs and flows and acknowledge those ebbs and flows and work with them and ride them. We have a tendency to like, just, we're going to put our mind to it and it doesn't matter what anything else is going on, and like, just push through. And, why? So to me, it's a very unnatural way of being, because if you look at anything, there's timing to it, right? That there are certain ebbs and flows, certain cycles. There's a timing to everything, and we can work against that timing or we can work with that timing. And so working with the moon energies has been one of the ways that I have started to work with that timing, with the energetics that are already existing, and to use that to help support whatever it is that I'm working with, right? So whether it be, hey, I'm trying to release this old habit, or I'm trying to manifest something and call it into my life, whatever. But there are various stages within the lunar cycle that are more conducive to those things. So working with that has been a way of allowing more support, not having to do the heavy lifting, and being more in flow with things. So that's the first thing, right? The second thing has been when it comes to, since I've started working with the moon energies, like, I've also noticed my own patterns at different phases in the lunar cycle. So for example, when it comes to a full moon, a lot of people get really drained, really tired during full moons. I'm not one of those people. On like the night of the full moon, I generally won't really be able to sleep. Like, it's just kind of this, I don't know, buzzy, frenetic energy that's happening. And I used to, I didn't realize it was happening at the same time every month. Like, I didn't realize there was a pattern and we could anticipate when that was happening. And I would just get really frustrated and aggravated because I couldn't sleep and I'd have to wake up super early in the morning, and it's not a good combination. But since I've learned that, now I just like anticipate, okay, cool. If I know the full moon is coming up, like, let's have a journal with me. Let's have note of any projects that I'm trying to like look at from a creator perspective or whatever, right? Because what happens is normally I can't sleep, and I start to have like all these ideas and all these like pathways and plans and like, just start running amok, and it's great. Unless it's not what you're wanting, or unless you're not willing to leverage it. But the alternative is me try to make myself go to sleep, not be able to fall asleep until like the wee hours of the morning, not get enough sleep because I didn't fall asleep until like an hour, a couple hours before I need to wake up, and then be both tired and upset because I didn't get enough sleep and I was trying all night to get sleep. Or I can just go ahead and accept the fact that like, hey, I'm going to be up and there's going to be tons of ideas, and working with that to brainstorm things, to get different insights on things that I've been stuck on, and still getting the same amount of sleep. But now at least I'm not grumpy because I wasn't trying to force myself to sleep and not being able to accomplish that, right? The third thing for me has been to see how my moon cycle aligns with the lunar phases, right? And so for those of you who aren't used to that terminology, when I say my moon cycle, I mean my menstruation cycle. So different times of menstruation, like in conjunction with the different lunar phases, are kind of given different meanings and different traits and signal different things, right? And yes, our cycle will change over the course of our life, but there's usually a lunar phase that we tend to menstruate during more than any other. But even when we're shifting into those different phases, like it can give you an idea of how to, like what season you're moving into and what you should be looking for and kind of doing to help take care of yourself, right? So for instance, I tend to menstruate with the full moon, which historically is, it's seen as kind of like, that's the lunar phase that, the wise woman, the mystic, the healer will menstruate during full moons, right? And so that's typical for me. But then sometimes I will switch and align with the new moon, right? It happens really very rarely. I'm usually full moon, but I know when I move into that phase, like, hey, I need to be more in the receiving phase of things, right? Like I need to be supported and helped and nourished. And that's not to say that like you shouldn't be supported and nourished normally as a healer. You absolutely should be, but it's just more for moving in that role of like the giving and nurturer to like relinquish that for a little bit and be completely like nourished and nurtured, and like you're not the one that's worrying about that so much, right? You're just on the receiving end. You're not trying to balance it out on and be on both the receiving and the giving end. So those are some of the ways that working with the full moon energies have kind of come into my life, changed my life, and some of the things I've noticed and been able to work with. And I wanted to share that here because I thought it was a really great question. I thought it was something that would be, relevant for others who may not have thought of working with the moon's energies, like with the lunar phases and aligning to that. And so I wanted to share that with you. I will make sure that I put a link to the to that guide in it'll be on the website right with this episode, in the episodes page. So if you go to the essenceofexpression.com and go to episodes, it will be there. Thank you for your time and attention. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, share this episode with them. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.